Hi guys, welcome back to Hairdryer Treatment. The Soph and Meg show is back. Quite a bit to talk about actually regarding United, even though we haven't played. But yeah, Meg is back on the show. Meg, how are you doing?
Hi, I'm good, thanks. I feel like we had a little mini winter's break. We're back. There was so much happened. Loads to discuss, loads of stuff about United, but loads of stuff in general in regards to football. Just feel like I'm ready for the Monday for United to start playing, but it's also been good. Like, there just seems to be a lot happening at the moment in the winter's break. I'm not going to say like I'm a big fan of the winter's break, but I can understand why we've had it. But I'm glad to be back. Lots to discuss.
Yeah, I agree. It feels like we've been off a while actually. But I'm going to jump straight into it. Obviously, Pochettino rumours are absolutely massive again at the minute. Supposedly, he's coming to us in the summer. Meg, firstly, how do you feel about that? Would you be happy having Pochettino in and Solskjaer going? Yeah, I'll start with that one. Would you be happy if Poch came in the summer?
I wouldn't be unhappy. Let's say that. I wouldn't be unhappy. But, you know, when you just kind of feel like we're just going to go through this routine of having a manager for a couple of seasons, getting them rid. Someone's just put, it's very cool on Ollie. We did the same thing with Van Gaal as well. We won a trophy one day and he was gone the next. And I feel like with Ali, like he's had this season where he has done quite a bit off the pitch in terms of moving players on, bringing players in. I think Ollie's kind of invested his time in certain players, and you can see the improvement in certain players. I'm not saying like Man United as a whole has improved. You can see where we are in the league table. It's not exactly a great position, but when you look at individuals, certain players I think have actually improved under Ollie. So like I said, I won't be unhappy. Poch is a good manager. Let's not like just throw that like away. He is a good manager. A lot of people are like, oh, but he's not won trophies. He hasn't, but he got second in the league and to a Champions League final without spending a penny on a team. So for me, that just shows you that he is a good coach. He knows what he's doing, but I do kind of think it would be unfair on Ollie. I just kind of think, is this like the window at the end of the summer? Is that the right time? Has he had an opportunity to have a season where he's got rid of who he wants to get rid of, brought in who he wants in,
Yeah.
and then had a season to do what he's got to do? But I'm not overly. Yeah, I'm not Poch in 100%. But like I said, I wouldn't be unhappy if he did come.
Yeah, I mean, for me, Pochettino, lots of people rave about obviously what he did with Spurs, got semi-final of the Champions League, and obviously in the final. But then I'm talking about the comeback against Ajax, and there's a massive like rave about Pochettino. But when you look at it, when you look at the stats, he actually hasn't won a trophy. He hasn't won anything, and I know people talk about he didn't have much backing at Spurs, and money went into the stadium rather than investing in the team. But I think it's an interesting point. I do think he's a good manager, and if anyone replaces Ollie, I think I would fancy Pochettino. I agree with some of the statements saying it is harsh on Ollie. I would like to see him given a full cycle really to get rid of the deadwood, because he has obviously started to do that, and the signings that he has made have been positive. But of course, we can't deny where we are in the table. You just said, how on earth are Everton above us? We can't deny that Ollie has to take some blame for that. So if Ollie is replaced by someone, I would like it to be Pochettino. But just like Gavin said in the chat here, he said he believes it's the usual rubbish for the papers. If you put Manchester United in the title, it's going to sell papers. He doesn't believe the rumours. Pancake says he's still Ollie in. I'm mixed, because if you think about it, if, say for example, Ollie did get sacked, there's not really a great choice of managers to replace him at the minute. Pochettino has to be up there as one of the top ones, surely.
I think when you look at who's available right now as well, I think Poch is a good one. But like, just that whole thing of this whole routine of going through managers every couple of seasons just doesn't sit well with me. I just don't agree with it. I am someone who will buy into a manager, and I know people are saying his tactics aren't great, he can't do this, he doesn't do that, he makes substitutions too late. But I buy into him. I buy into the fact that he is investing time in certain players. He is sorting out this whole mess that we've had in terms of players holding on to players for too long.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we have, in certain situations, we haven't moved them on when the time was right. the one I think that he needs to sort out is the whole Pogba situation. It needs to be nailed down. Is he going or is he staying? And then once you've got that, then you can start looking at who's available to bring in. I know we're going to discuss that in a minute.
Yeah.
But Poch, he's got experience in the Premier League. He's got experience in the Champions League. He's done it, and he's pushed Tottenham to, as in my personal opinion, as far as Tottenham could ever go. I don't think they'll ever win the Premier League at the moment. I don't think they'll win the Champions League either. Poch has pushed them as far as they can go without the support, without the bill, the wages that we have at Manchester United. I just think he's a good coach. I do think it'd be unfair on Ollie if he went.
Yeah, I think when you look at Ollie, and like I said, the signings he's already made, I do feel like it's kind of in a process. What is happening on the pitch, of course, we're not fully happy with the performances, the quality, but we haven't got squad depth, similar to what Spurs didn't have squad depth. And I just think that at the minute the problem runs a lot deeper than the manager, and I think we'll all openly say that the problem is not Ollie mainly, the problem is beyond him. And so I do think it's harsh. However, a lot of people would probably agree with me in saying actually a rebuild from the top all the way through to the bottom wouldn't be a bad thing. So if Poch comes in, he brings in his own team, but I also think obviously the director of football, Woodward, shouldn't be in the job, and obviously the Glazers, we already know what we think about them. And I do think, yes, it lies at Ollie's door, the blame lies at Ollie's door because he's the main guy, he's the face, he takes the brunt of it. But realistically, if you bring Poch in there in the current situation the club we're at, with Ed Woodward still there, not really investing, are we going to see many improvements? I think, yeah, the odd results, obviously, where we should have been, for example, where we haven't got a plan B, Pochettino would maybe sort that out. But again, we would need to invest. And he had the same issue at Spurs where they didn't buy the players that he wanted to buy. We need to know that they are going to back Pochettino.
I'll be really annoyed though if we bring somebody in, then all of a sudden decide that we want to bring a director of football in as well. Why are you changing the manager and then bringing in a director of football? Bring in a director of football first. That should be your main priority. Forget sacking a manager. Forget doing anything else. Get a director of football in. You look at the other teams, the teams who are succeeding in the league. Liverpool, Klopp's got a whole team surrounding him. It's not just Klopp. It's the director of football. It's his staff. It's everyone around him, as well as his knowledge. So I think really we need to invest in a director of football, and then see if Ollie makes it or not.
Yeah.
Don't do it the other way around. Don't get rid of someone and then bring all the support in, because that doesn't make sense for me.
Yeah. And someone said Van der Sar already. Gavin said Van der Sar. I would love Van der Sar as our director of football. I think he was the guy that I said I would most like in that role. But Chelsea, obviously on Monday, a team that are very near us in the table, a team competing for top four, a team that is also not doing the best under Lampard at the moment. Stamford Bridge, we don't have the best record, if we're honest about it. Meg, how are you feeling going into that game? Obviously, as you've already mentioned, it seems like forever since you've seen United play. Back in action, a tough game, Monday Night Football, Stamford Bridge. How are you feeling going into that?
It's a big game again, isn't it? We always say this. At the moment, every game is a big game. But it really is. If we win with 3 points, we're within 3 points of them. That's a 1-game swing then.
Yeah.
So if we lose, they go 9 points clear of us. So then it's a 3-game swing. So it's such a big result to happen, regardless of what the score is, what your performance is like. Obviously, we all want a good scoreline. We obviously all want a good performance. But the main thing is that's 3 points on the board on Monday night. Chelsea are one of those teams that they're just going about their business. They are having bad spells, but yet they're still fourth in the league because they've collected points. they've done what they need to do. They've got goals in them. It's tough, isn't it? Like you said, our away record at Stamford Bridge isn't great. I obviously want 3 points. With the whole transfer rumours surrounding Chelsea, is that going to boost them? Are they going to be boosted by what's happening off the pitch?
Yeah, and obviously we'll talk about their transfers. Ziyech apparently has been signed for the summer. Ajax, I think, came out and admitted that today. a player that a lot of United fans have liked the look of, a player that a lot of United fans wanted us to go for. What's your opinion on Ziyech? Have you seen much of him? Do you think he's a good signing for Chelsea?
I think he is a good signing for Chelsea. I think anyone who would have got him at 33, I think it's 33 million, is a great price for him. I think he'll fit in at Chelsea. I think he'll do bits in the Premier League, definitely. So he's off the market now, isn't he? He's gone to Chelsea. He's not someone else that we've previously been linked with and not happening now. He's going to Chelsea. Sancho is... I was listening to Talk Sport. They're on about Sancho going to Chelsea being the perfect fit for Chelsea. But they're saying the club that's in need of him most is Manchester United. But Chelsea's London. It's got that attraction, hasn't it? They're a team with young, fresh players. They've obviously just brought another one in now. Sancho's a young, fresh player. I don't know.
Yeah, but you said like Callum Hudson-Odoi there as well, who was the best thing since sliced bread, and realistically, I don't think he's really impressed me that much, if I'm totally honest. And apparently Bayern Munich wanted him, so it's an interesting one. If Chelsea want to keep him, maybe he'll be the guy. Ziyech coming in as well. Maybe they don't want Sancho anymore. Maybe Ziyech was there as a contingency. I don't know. But of course, we've been linked with Sancho. I'll really, really try my hardest not to get sucked into all this hype around him, because we know what happens with English players. They get overhyped. And yeah, I don't want to fall into that. I do think he's very talented. Is he worth the money? I guess we'll wait and see. Is he going to cut it in the Premier League? We'll wait and see. And obviously, I really hope he does, and I hope he does at Manchester United. But I really try my hardest not to get sucked in, because I'm very used to English players being overhyped. Meg, what's your opinion on Sancho? Obviously, 100 million, I think, is the price that's been talked about. Is he really worth that, or is it just another English player being overhyped and overpriced?
He's a great player. He has torn it up over in Germany. He's a really, really talented young English footballer. 100 million now, that's like your normal price, isn't it? Let's face it, it's not something that, I'm not shocked by it, because that's modern day football now. That's what you're going to have to pay for these players. He hasn't got the Premier League experience, but neither has Bruno Fernandes that we've just brought in. So I don't think you can go on the fact that he hasn't been in the Premier League, because there's a lot of players that haven't been in the Premier League that come over to England anyway. I think he is such a talent. He is such a talent. Like, the way that he is with the ball, the way that he runs with the ball, his finishing, he seems to be getting like goals. He's assisting as well. He's involved. He's always involved. I like the fact that he's got a little bit more of an attitude about him now as well. I think that's what, like starting to go into his game a little bit. For me, he's another one of those wild players again. He's not the one. He's not in the position that I think that we need to target. But if he's available, I don't think he'll be available next summer.
Yeah.
So if we're going to get him, it's got to be this summer.
I agree with that. Yeah, I think this summer will be the time that he moves. I totally agree with that, and I think he's very talented. Like I say, he needs to be playing under the right manager, with the right style of play if he does come to Manchester United, to get the best out of him. Not what we've done in the past, where we force players to play out of position. I think we need to use him to the best of his ability, and yeah, I do think he can be an outstanding player. I'm just really scared of getting drawn in and getting sucked into that overhyped English thing that always happens. Another player who obviously has been linked with us as well is Grealish. Now, there's always been Grealish Maddison comparisons. Grealish at the minute, you've got to say, he's in amazing form, carrying Villa at the moment, a poor Villa team as well. Grealish for me is more realistic. If Villa go down, which is looking more and more likely, Grealish, for me, he will come. I think he's at the prime of his career now. He owes Villa nothing. He's stayed with them obviously before. If he wants to progress in his career, it would be the perfect time for him to move. And like I say, I think Manchester United would be a very tempting place for him to go. And I genuinely think we've got a good chance of getting Grealish in the summer. Do you think he's good enough, Meg? Do you think he's consistent enough to be at Manchester United?
I think it's hard because, like I said, he's in a poor Aston Villa team. He does stand out. He's not in a team where he's got good players around him constantly. Like, I'm not going to slate the Aston Villa players, but he'd be in best company at the likes of Manchester United, at one of the top 4 clubs, the big 6 clubs, whatever you want to call us.
Top half clubs.
I think he's more likely to have left than Maddison. I don't think Maddison will probably leave Leicester if they stay where they are at the moment. If they get into the Champions League, I don't think they will leave. So yeah, Grealish is a good target, but I think you'll probably look. I think people will be more shocked at the price that we pay for Grealish than the price you'd pay for Sancho.
Yeah.
I think Sancho's, when you say 100 million, I wasn't shocked about it, but I don't know obviously what price Grealish will come out at, but I think I'll probably be more shocked at that price.
Yeah, I think when I used to watch Grealish, he used to frustrate me. I used to think he must be a nightmare to play with because he always took that extra touch, and I think he was a bit frustrated, a bit slow on the ball. He's always trying to do the special thing. But since watching him this season as captain of Villa, I do think he's shown other qualities. Quite tenacious. He doesn't hide. He always wants to get on the ball, always trying to make something happen, and he's the guy that makes it tick for them. So I must admit he has surprised me this season for the better. I do think he has proven to me his ability. In the Premier League, I thought he would struggle. And to be honest, early on, I remember against Spurs nicked the ball off him quite near to their area, and obviously went on and scored against Villa, and that was what I was kind of looking for in Grealish. I thought he'd get the ball nicked off him because he does like to take his time, and he does like to take the extra touch or play that magic ball. And when it comes off, we all know how good it looks, but I do think he's carrying that Villa team, and he has showed, like I say, other characteristics that have made me think, you know what, I would like to see this guy in a United shirt. Meg, if you had to choose one of the two, Grealish or Maddison, if say both of them wanted to come to United, which one would you go for?
Oh, the last time you asked me this, I said Maddison, and I've kind of been like drawn into the Grealish right now. I don't know, like, I still think Maddison's a really, really good player, and I still think him at number 10 in that 10 role, I'd still take Maddison. I'd still take him. I think that number 10 role would suit him perfectly. I don't think Grealish is out and out 10.
Yeah.
I think Maddison's got more flair in attack than Grealish has. So I'd say Maddison. I don't know about you. What would you say?
Straight away, I used to always say, Maddison, love the guy, playing at Leicester. I just think he's a quality player. But the more and more I see of Grealish in a, like you said, a poor Villa team, it makes you realise that, you know what, he's one hell of a player. Because Maddison, bear in mind, he's playing with a good team around him, playing in a system that suits him, and he was absolutely thriving. Not so good lately, but he's playing in a very good team, whereas Grealish is playing in a very poor team. A bit like he would be if he came to Manchester United at the minute. Now, he's playing in a poor team, and like I say, he's carrying them, and for me, that's why at the minute, I'm favouring Grealish, and I never thought I'd say that. I was always definitely Maddison, but I think the more I see of him, the more I like of Jack Grealish at the minute.
I think he's coming into form, isn't he, at the moment? I completely agree. I see so many people in the comments at the moment, like Matt Johnson, I'd prefer Maddison, but Grealish is more gettable, in my opinion, and I agree with that. I think price range as well. Grealish is more. He's got more. We've got more opportunity to get him. Naeem. I don't know how to pronounce it. Sorry. Naeem Maddison would be very hard to buy from Leicester. Again, agreed. And I think the price. We're not just going to cough up it like that.
Yeah.
Alex Marman, Grealish would be more realistic because of his position in the table. So all those factors influence who you get as well. Like I said, I think if Leicester get into the Champions League, Maddison won't leave.
Yeah.
Because why would he? And if we don't get Champions League, why would he come to us? Why would you do that? You're throwing away your opportunity in Champions League football. So I completely agree with all of you in the comments about realistic expectations. But like I said, I think Maddison would fit into our system, into that number 10 role really well. But I like Grealish's tenacity again. You know, he's got a bit of a bite in him, and he's in form, isn't he? So I'm not going to choose. I'm not going to. You know, I wouldn't turn down either of them.
Yeah.
Come to Manchester United. But if I said like money was an option, or they were both wanting to leave, they both wanted to come to Manchester United, perhaps I'd go for Maddison right now.
Yeah, it's really difficult one. Like you said, I'd take either of them, of course I would. But at this moment in time, I am favouring more Grealish at this moment, whereas before it was definitely Maddison. It shows how hard it is to choose between the two for me, really. Let's see what some people are saying in the chat. I don't want to be a disrespectful fella, but Sheffield have a style of play and we got better players than them, so I don't think Ollie can be trusted with money. I think that is a very good point, and I mentioned this before. Sheffield United have got a system, they've got a way of playing. They're tough to break down, but they've also got a plan B. They're playing a nice brand of football as well. They're not like Burnley, who I like to call the stoppers. They are actually playing football. Meg, do you agree with that saying? This is why I always say Ollie deserves to come under criticism. I genuinely do. I'll stick to that. And Sheffield United are the prime example, aren't they?
They are, but, and this is a but, and I really rate Sheffield this season. Don't get me wrong, I think their style of play, the players are drilled, they all want to play, the manager's great, but is this a one season only thing? When you just sometimes happen upon a season in a club where everything goes right, and look at Liverpool, prime example this season as well, everything is going right, everything's fitting into position, they've had no injuries, it just seems to just go their way all the time, and it's the same with Sheffield, it's the same. Come back to me next season if Sheffield are in the same position or a better position, then yes, they have got it all sorted. They must have a great style of play. But if they're not, and it's a one-off season, we'll be slating them next season that, oh, they're terrible. They won't have done anything different. It just so happens that everything's fitted into place. Same with Liverpool, except on a much bigger scale. They've only dropped points against us, but everything is going their way. Look at the last-minute goals that they've conceded. Look at some of the goals that Sheffield have scored that have gone their way. It is just one of those things sometimes that everything happens. I'll be happy. I'm really happy for them because I think they have played well and they do deserve to be where they are. But if then, is it a one-time thing? Is it a one-season-only thing? Do you know what I mean? Like we've had it the season that we played. You get games where everything just goes your way. They just had a season where everything goes their way.
I get that, but I also think you make your own luck. And I do believe, like Liverpool, the way they press from the front, obviously players make mistakes, and people are, again, they've been gifted a goal. But I do believe there is a point where you make your own luck, and I do think playing in a system with a high press, where the team press together, we both know Meg playing football, you go as a unit. And that comes from the coach and obviously working on that in training. And we can't do that as a team. We don't know how to press as a unit. We don't do that. It's ones and twos. And that's why our press just breaks down immediately. And I think that comes from the manager. So although I do agree, obviously, we've already moaned enough about how much luck Liverpool have had. But I do think a lot of the time you make your own luck as well. And again, I agree that Ollie did deserve to come under criticism because there's been games where we definitely should have won. But at the same time, you look at the bank average players he's still got in the squad. He's slowly starting to try and ship them out. And Fernandes coming in, we've only seen him play once. And I must admit, I was impressed with what I saw. Obviously, I know we weren't the best, and we all know he's not going to be a simple fix. And those people who think Fernandes is going to come in and transform it, they're deluded, because that's not going to happen, because, like I said, there's a lot of issues. But I was impressed with what I saw from Fernandes in that first game. Meg, did you like what you saw?
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, he's only played once, and it wasn't a great performance by the team in general. But I'm excited to see what he's going to be like against Chelsea. It's good competition. So yeah, I think once you see him a little bit more than that, you can start. I don't want to say judging. We are judging him. We are going to watch the performance. We are expecting good things. We've all seen the talent that he's got. But I just think that you need a few games to be able to see him shine or what he's actually about, really.
Yeah. I agree with that. I want to read Jenny's comment just because we kind of touched on a similar comment earlier. I love the way the plastic fans say Ollie spent 200 million. We need Poch. Firstly, 200 million won it by a top class back four. We need at least 10 players, and Poch has won nothing, 0. So basically saying there, we have spent a lot of money, yes, but in the market today's day and age, actually that's not a lot. You can't buy a lot with what we have spent. And saying that Pochettino, he's won nothing. Do we need Poch? And that's kind of touching on what we've already said. I think the signings that we have made so far under Ollie have been positive ones, and I'm happy with the signings that we've made so far.
Yeah, we've always said, haven't we, that we can't just go out and buy 10 players in one window.
Yeah.
As much as we all say we need players, we need X, Y, Z positions filled, it can't happen in one transfer season. And the signings that we have made, look, we all knew that we needed to sort out defence. He went out, he got the centre-half that at the time, after the World Cup, was on fire, completely on form. Harry Maguire played so well in the England World Cup. We went out and got him. Aaron Wan-Bissaka had a brilliant season at Crystal Palace. We went out and got him.
He looked shattered. He absolutely looked shattered.
But this is what we all taught. We all like, we need defenders. We need to sort out defence. He went out and got two defenders that were really good at an okay price. Okay, Harry Maguire is quite expensive, but it's modern day football. That's the price that you have to pay. We all need a central midfielder. He's gone out in January. Got Bruno Fernandes after a long, drawn-out process. We finally got there. I think in the summer, again, you have to look at not judge on how much you spend, but what players come in and what positions are being filled. Because in modern day football, you're not going to get great players for the 20 million.
Yeah.
Clubs expect way more than that now.
I think
clubs won't sell players for pennies, will they?
Yeah.
They just don't anymore.
Well, it's like, I said this a few weeks back, it used to be where Manchester United could bully other teams in the transfer market because of the sheer amount of money that we had. The smaller teams now have obviously had new owners and they've got money themselves. So it's not like you can flaunt the cash around anymore and bully other teams in the transfer market, because even the smaller teams now have got power. And that's what it is. And the people obviously, Manchester United, think they desperately need a centre-back. Okay, you can have our centre-back if you want to, but you're going to have to fork out for him. And we all know that Ed was trying to pinch pennies and that, and eventually we did fork up the money. But it's that element of actually, no, you can't bully us anymore. He's in contract with us. If you want him, you're going to have to pay above and beyond. And obviously that's what we've had to do. Because we're in this desperate situation where we do need squad depth. We are desperate for quality players. So of course teams are going to say, you can have them, but you have to pay more than they're worth. And obviously we do.
I'm just reading a couple of the comments, sorry, that, I see a lot of Poch has never won anything. But I'm just going to refer back to what I said before. He took that Spurs team without spending a penny to second in the Premier League behind Man City, who that season smashed it, absolutely dominated, and to a Champions League final that nobody expected them to be there. So I know managers get judged on what they win, but sometimes it doesn't matter what you win. We sacked Van Gaal after he won a trophy, the day after he won a trophy at Manchester United. Winning a trophy doesn't mean anything to clubs anymore at times.
I think
nothing.
Yeah. I agree with that. Trophies isn't everything. Obviously, at the minute, we're nowhere near a trophy. But I think it's more the style of play, and the more like we're watching and getting frustrated because we haven't got a plan B. Pochettino's style of play was a lot more attractive, people would argue, with the players that he had. And obviously for us at the minute, when we know what our plan is, and if that doesn't work, then we kind of just shit ourselves and give up because we haven't got a clue what we're going to do. And that is the worrying thing. Has Ollie got a plan B? Is he capable of giving us that plan B? And that's where the questions lie at the minute. Obviously, we know what happened at Mould, and we know what happened. Cardiff got Cardiff relegated. I don't judge him on that. I really do not judge Ollie on that. Of course, you look at it and you think, well, it doesn't look good. But for me, the signings that he's made have been positive. I think he knows what he wants to do. But as a coach, can he carry that out? Is he capable as a manager to be able to implement that plan A, plan B, plan C that you should have as Manchester United Football Club? And I think that is where the issue is with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Of course, we all love him as a legend, but sentiment has to go out the window when it comes to the success of the club. Ole has to prove that now he's got Bruno Fernandes, Pogba coming back. Can Ole prove that actually, when we've got the players available, we can alter our play, we can change our styles to suit certain teams that we're playing against? Because at the minute we don't see that on the pitch, and you can put some of that down to the quality of player and the lack of squad depth that we've got because of injuries. But also, a lot of people question our medical team as well. You mentioned Liverpool not having injuries, City have injuries, but they seem to recover in miracle time. Do you think that our medical team needs to change as well?
Sometimes I think the whole coaching staff needs to change. Like, we're so stuck with people who are. I just sometimes look at the coaching staff and I don't feel like we've got a bite about us. Do you know what I mean? Like, we haven't got that angry side about us. We haven't got that I don't give a fuck kind of attitude. It's all really nicey nice. You need someone with a mouth that's going to get in there and tell somebody exactly what to do. But it does, something needs to change, doesn't it? Look, Pogba's been out for half a season.
Mm-hmm.
What's he doing? Like, he's coming back for a game, he's back out, he's going for an operation after a game, and then he's coming back in again, and what's he doing? Just, if he's not there, rest him or get him at least sorted. But yeah, I feel sorry. I'm so consumed by people in this chat going like, there are so many people going Ollie in, Ollie out. I think what I will say is that we're all Manchester United fans, so don't get personal in the comments about people. Everyone's entitled to an opinion. This is what this show is about. That we offer a chance for people to come and say what they want to say about Manchester United. We'll debate about it. There are lots of ifs and buts. If we go out and beat Chelsea 5-0 on Monday, people are going to be Ollie in again. If we go out and lose 5-0, a lot of those fans will then switch and go Ollie out. It's a game of football that you don't know whichever way it's going to go. You just don't know, do you?
You know what, if everyone's opinion was the same in football, no one would really be bothered about it, because that's why we love football. If everyone was Ollie out or everyone was Ollie in, then we wouldn't be able to have these debates, and it's got to be healthy, you know what I mean? We're here to debate football, we're here to debate United and obviously other teams as well, but we do it in a healthy way, and that's obviously what hairdryer treatment is about. I always say I'm completely on the fence in terms of Ollie. I understand the criticism he gets, and I get frustrated myself at times with obviously the lack of prowess, could you say, as a coach. But also, he's a club legend. I feel that the problems run a lot deeper than him. His face is in front of it, so he gets a lot of the blame. And if we change Ollie now and still put him in the current situation we are in as a club, I don't think a lot is going to improve. We don't want to become this sacking club where we keep just replacing managers after manager after manager. I think you see at other clubs. I've just seen Hammer's chat in the chat. I hope you're good. I will sort that clip out for you. But West Ham are a good example. If you keep changing the manager but don't change the actual climate of the club, not a lot is going to improve. You might have that manager boost for a few games where actually you think things are going to change, things look good, where you beat Cardiff because Rashford scores a deflected free kick and you think, you know what, yes, we're 4-0 FC and we're going to batter teams. And actually, no, it's just a short-term fix. But long-term goal, maybe you do have to ride it out. People say things get worse before they get better. Maybe we have got to trust Ollie. None of us really, if you're a similar age to me, have seen United this poor. We have been this poor before. And I think that people, obviously, even I don't realise that. I wasn't around at that time, but obviously I know about the history of the club. Sometimes you have to take a dip before you rise again, and maybe we're in that dip now, and it's not easy to sit in this dip, I agree with that. But maybe that's what needs to happen. And it's a struggle. It's horrible to watch as a fan, especially as someone who's on the fence like me, because of course you don't want to keep sacking a manager, especially a club legend, and I'm not saying sentiment is in the way, but you don't want to become this sacking club, especially if you know that the problems are a lot deeper, and it's really frustrating.
I think DJ 007 is definitely trying to get a bite out of people right now. We're all fans, let's just face it. I think, like you said, generation of fans our age haven't seen Manchester United this poor. We were very good at when we were growing up, weren't we? We were spoiled. We've said it before. We were spoiled in the era that we grew up because we were dominant. And it's about character now. It's about how you come back. You've got to. If you're going to support Manchester United, you've got to take the good and the bad. Any club, you've got to take the good and the bad, haven't you? You can't just switch off. Not this poor fan. I mean, like I said, we've not seen it, have we? This is the poorest that we've ever been in our era. So we can't say much other than it's bad.
Yeah, I mean, it could be worse. Could be an Arsenal fan, couldn't you? But yeah. It is sad being a United fan. Right, I'm going to end this with our predictions, and I will let you go first, Meg, because you're the guest. But Chelsea, Monday Night Football, Stamford Bridge, Bruno Fernandes playing for United. How are you feeling about it? Do you think we're going to win? What's your score prediction?
I said before, it's obviously at 3 points that we desperately need. However, I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw.
Ooh, you're expecting goals?
I'm expecting goals, but I also think that we will concede as well. It's a shock. And I think Chelsea have got problems at the back. Chelsea have got a keeper who will make a mistake. They've come out, Lampard's come out and criticised him as well, so there's no hiding from it. They have got mistaken with them at the back. I'm going for 2-2.
Fair enough. Who do you think should have scored for us?
Bruno!
2. Bruno brace.
I'll go Bruno and Greenwood.
Ooh. I'm going for Igalo. No, I think. You know what? Stamford Bridge, I hate it. I hate it when we go to Stamford Bridge. It's one of the games that I literally dread. I dread it more, probably just as much as any other rival game, but Stamford Bridge is just something about that place. We always seem to play poor there. It seems to be a horrible atmosphere, and I dread us going there. So I'm not feeling too confident, but I hate to bet against United. So I'm going to say a 2-1 United win. Igalo to score and celebrate like absolute mad. So Igalo to score, and I'm also going to say Harry Maguire header. That's what I'm going for. And like you said, I think we will concede. Something about Stamford Bridge, we always seem to just not turn up. I don't know what it is about that place, but yeah, I can't bet against United, so I'm going to go for a win, but I'm going to go for a scrappy, tight win. DJ007 says, if you don't get Pochettino, let's get Solskjaer in. I'm down for that, definitely. And yeah, predictions are a bit mixed. I've got some people saying 2-2 draw, a bit like you. Some people are saying that United are going to win, United are going to lose. It's very mixed. I think it's one of them games where it's hard to call. And it's very much who turns up on the day, and 9 times out of 10 we do not turn up at Stamford Bridge, so let's just hope we do this time. But Meg, thank you so much for coming on. Appreciate it.
That's okay. What I will say is everyone who's watching, Sophie and I will do like a Q&A session soon, so if you have any questions for me and Soph, whether that's about football, our footballing experience, because we are pretty good at football, once.
Speak for yourself, Meg.
If you've got questions, we'll do a Q&A session. Either drop them on the video, because we do go back and check the comments that are left on the video, or find us on Twitter, and then leave us a comment. We'll put a tweet out so you can drop them all in there, and we'll do a Q&A for everyone soon.
Thank you, Meg. Yeah, we're going to try and mix up the content. We are going to get to another United women's game soon as well, and a United men's game. We've been discussing that we're going to go to a match together, so that'll be good content as well. But we're definitely going to keep up the Soph and Meg show. Thank you so much for your support. We have really positive feedback, so appreciate it. Have a lovely evening. I will do some content over the weekend before the Chelsea game as well. But as always, thank you to Meg, an amazing guest. Love doing the Soph and Meg show. Thank you to you guys in the chat as well. It's been a good debate. DJ007 is always welcome, even though he's trying to troll people. Just keep it clean and keep it healthy in the chat, because that's what we want. But yeah, fingers crossed United bounce back on Monday with a win. Fingers crossed Igalo bangs in a goal as well, because I'm buzzing to see him in the United shirt. I know not many people are, but I actually am. And yeah, thank you so much. Drop a like on the video. Drop a comment if we've missed you in the chat. We promise we do look back. And of course, hit that sub button if you haven't already. Take care, guys. Have a good evening.